This is just a quick video to demonstrate how you can get some of the overview statistics on a data set by using the more advanced features, the solver add-in and the statistics add-in. So I have here, I'm on a desktop version of Excel. I'm actually logged in on a Mac through Horizon, the Horizon client. So I've logged into one of the machines at the university, and I've brought up a data set that I used in class. So this is, I forget what this was, a percent something, but it was from example 16.3 from the book. And we want to just get some basic statistical information about that. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that those add-ons that I mentioned are actually activated in this version. And I think what I've been seeing anyway is that they don't, if you click on the add-in and make it available, you have to do that every time. So just be aware of that. You might have to enable it every time you want to use it, or every time you open a new workbook. So to do that, I went to File, and then at the bottom here is Options, and that will bring up another window. And in this window, there's on the left, there's a selection here, Add-ins. If I click Add-ins, it takes a second to get it to load, but here it is. These are the add-ins for Excel. And at the very bottom here, you can see Excel add-ins, manage Excel add-ins, and then there's a Go button. I'm going to click the Go button, and now this brings up another window, and you want to look at Analysis Tool Pack in Solver add-in. If those are not checked, you want to make sure that you check them. Those are the two we really care about. And really, Solver add-in we probably won't look at until much later in the semester. So anyway, these are the two that we want to enable: Analysis Tool Pack and Solver add-in. I've checked them in this case, and now I'm going to click OK. And to verify, and it's just it's doing its work here, to verify that it actually is enabled on this workbook, is I can go to the Data tab up on the top, and you'll see on the far right these two, this Analyze section, and then Data Analysis and Solver in that box or section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate how to get some simple statistics from the data analysis tool. So I'm going to select Data Analysis, and this will bring up a window that allows you to choose from a bunch of different things, and some of these you may look familiar to you, some of them may not. There's actually quite a bit of stuff in here, but we're interested for this particular video, we're just interested in the descriptive statistics portion. So I'm going to select descriptive statistics. I can't say it, but I'm going to select that. I'm going to click OK, and it's giving me it's asking me some questions about what the input range is. So the input range is what is the data that I'm actually trying to get the statistics on. And in this case, it's this data. So I'm going to select the data here that I want to look at. And notice that there's a checkbox at the bottom of that section that says label in the first row. And if you have a label, in this case we do, it's percent, we want to make sure we check this box. Otherwise it'll try to analyze the word percent, and it doesn't go over well. You'll probably get either the wrong numbers, or the wrong statistics, or you'll get an error altogether. The second piece of this is the output options. So you can have it output to a new worksheet, which is typically what I do. So it'll be in the same workbook, in the same file, but it'll just have another sheet added to it. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to say that the output is going to go right to the same worksheet. So I'm going to choose the range, so output range. I'm going to choose somewhere where I know I'm not going to have data later on. So I'm just say E and F, columns E and F, and I'll click this little down arrow, and you can see it populated what I need. Now The most important part of this is the checkboxes towards the bottom. So the first one is summary statistics, and the second one is confidence level for the mean. So if I wanted to do a 95% confidence level, I would put 95 in. I could put 90 in. I could put whatever I want in this confidence level, but I'm just going to keep it at the default. And you notice I checked these boxes. So summary statistics and confidence level. Don't worry about the last two for now. So after I've done all of that, I'm going to click OK. And Excel does all the work for you. So let's just take a look at some of the stuff that might be of significant interest to you. So the mean, the standard error, the median, the mode, and the standard deviation, the variance, these are pretty important. So I'm just going to boldface them. Whoops, sorry. Controls are a little different here. So I'm going to boldface these. And then the other thing, you might be interested in the range, the minimum, and the maximum. So the range is really just this, what is the difference between the largest number and the smallest number? And here's the smallest number, 18.7, max is 27. Here's the count. You might want to know the sum if you're doing some intermediate statistics and you need that data. So it's doing all the work for you. These two we'll deal with at a later date, but this basically talks more about the shape of the curve that it would produce. Now, the last line here, which is confidence level, and I'm going to actually make this yellow just to kind of highlight it. Now, this is what we've been doing, the confidence level in our, all the problems that we've been doing. So we pick a 95% confidence level, but what you need to understand is that this is just the range, or the range from the left in the range to the right. You still need to figure out what the actual margin of error would be in those particular cases. So to do that, I'm going to say low confidence level, and I'm going to make another one called high confidence level. And really the low is just going to be the mean, which we already know. So I'm going to say equals the mean up here minus this confidence level, which is here. And I get 21.29151. And likewise for the high, I'm going to say that that is actually equal to the mean plus the confidence level. So the range now from low to high, and I'll just highlight these, is that with 95% confidence, I know that if I pick a random sample of 20 and I find the average of those 20 numbers or values, that it will 95% of the time fall between 21 and 23. And so you can very quickly do some of the basic statistics on this. So that's it. That's the end of my lesson.